TK Irish coming from the Camp Kennerk podcast, and it is exciting. It's Super Bowl time, and it is the 60th anniversary of the game being kicked off today. You know, all the professional football players make a lot of money, and they can buy whatever they want. They can buy cars, they buy big houses, they got boats, they got all the toys they want. But you ask anybody that play professional football what their biggest dream is, and it is the Super Bowl ring. That's bragging rights. They put that thing on, and that's a guaranteed conversation starter. People are going to always want to know about it, and those guys take great pride in the fact of all the hard work that they took in to do this. So let's just take a trip down memory lane and see how the rings have changed over the years. We'll start back at the Green Bay Packers, 1967. They won the first Super Bowl game. But look at this picture, and you'll notice that it just says world champions. It does not say anything about the Super Bowl, which I thought was interesting. Then we go to 1977, Oakland Raiders. That's right. They won it. And check this ring out. Then we go to 1987, New York Giants. Yes, sir. They really made a big splash with their ring, getting a little bit bigger, a little bit gaudier. But hey, it's their ring. They won the game. They can do whatever they want. Then we move on to 2017, the Denver Broncos. Now, are you starting to see the pattern that things are getting a little bit bigger, a little bit more diamonds, a little bit more colored stones? But wait, look at the Los Angeles Rams of 2022. If you think that was something, let's visit Kansas City's championship ring for 2023. And then, of course, we have the Philadelphia Eagles ring for 2025. They get bigger, they get heavier, but I tell you what, I don't blame them. They got a lot of pride to show on that. So, Douglas, what do you think about all those rings?
TK, so good to see you on Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl 60 Sunday. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's 75 degrees down here in awesome Austin, Texas, and it makes me very happy to be with you on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboy shirt, proud fan of the Cowboys, as you are, and this is a beautiful, beautiful time. And those rings are absolutely fantastic. Now, do they sell some sort of golf cart that carries the ring as you put it on, or is it used to contact satellites or a searchlight in the middle of the night, something like that?
Well, that could be $1 million idea, but maybe a sling. I'm thinking maybe a sling that they could
Yeah,
carry.
it's like when you break your arm, it's got to be held up, so it's like this. Just like every woman who's just newly engaged and got the ring. Hello, how are you? What's going on? What's new in your life? Well, look at it this way. There's probably 250 rings given out to each team times 60. So there's, the sling, that holds the ring up like this, and then you could also have it where it holds your beer here. You see, you put your beer in here, it holds your beer, and then your hand is up like that,
Well,
something
that's
like that.
great because everyone at Camp Kennerk always believes in utility. So here we have functionality with bragging rights,
Yes,
and
yes. It'd be a
what else can
twofer.
you say?
It's a twofer. Hold your beer, and there's your hands up so they can. What's new in your life? What have you done in your life? I took the garbage out. How are you doing? Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful day, and you got the Kennerk boys up there. What sort of plans have you for tonight?
Well, cooked up some food, some of the favorite party foods, and we'll sit and watch the game, have some munchies, maybe have an adult beverage if they behave. And we really haven't talked about who we think's going to be the winners or anything. But Kevin the Magnificent is very good at following all this, so I'll get it all the 911 on it from him.
Okay, well, that's terrific. Well, what I am going to do is very Texas. I am going over to the HEB, yes, that famous Texas grocery chain here in town. It's about 3 blocks away. And this is an experimental HEB. They've put in a bar up on the second floor. It's got 10 flat screens. The HEB's been open about 3 years now. And I'll be up there, 10 flat screens. They got barbecue, burgers, pizza, cold ones. So that's where I'll be tonight. That's what I'm doing. And then the neighbors come on in to watch the game. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Anytime you can get into a community center like the HEB Recreation Center, as I call it, uh, it's always a lot of fun because then you can uh, pick on everybody all in fun and
Yeah.
everybody's laughing about it.
Well, my have been involved in sports all my life, and I enjoy sports as participant and as a fan. The benefits psychologically of participating in sports, emotionally, and the binding aspect of race, color, creed does not matter. It's all about the sport, and it is a truly, truly binding thing that connects our society and our world. What's going on right now with the Winter Olympics in Italy? We've all come to watch this beautiful thing, and it's not about who, what, where, wherever you are. It's about the sport and your competition and fairness. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I love the Olympics, but we're here to talk about the Super Bowl.
Right.
So,
And now I have something for you that's kind of interesting. This is how I spend my nights. Cold one in this. There, I have made a list of the 59 teams that have won, but not just but with their brand names, their logos, their spirit names, And I'm going to read it off really quickly, put it together. Now, I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this. I'll ask your opinion. I think it might be a rap song. Now,
well,
my rap name is Murray Moves. Murray Moves.
okay.
Whenever
Well,
this came from an old gal pal that would whenever I would do something really stupid, she would say, "Oh, that's a real Murray moves." Like spilling coffee down my shirt, stubbing my toe, forgetting the locking myself out of the car. Yeah. Oh, that's a real Murray move.
well, that's a great way to analyze it. Instead of saying something derogatory about your lack of walking skills or memory recall.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
sort of,
well,
you know
that's a real
exactly.
Murray move. Yeah. And you can look on the internet where I have written and performed some songs under Murray moves. And it's easy to find. It's got a tartan background. I'm Scottish, tartan background, Murray moves, and the music there. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking about that being a rap song. Now, let me get into it. Okay. Are you ready? Starting in 1967. Packers, Jets, Chiefs, Colts, Cowboys, Dolphins, Steelers, Raiders, Cowboys, Raiders, 49ers, Redskins, Raiders, 49ers, Bears, Giants, Redskins, 49ers, Giants, Redskins, Cowboys, 49ers, Cowboys, Packers, Broncos, Cardinals, Colts, Patriots, Buccaneers, Patriots, Steelers, Colts, Giants, Saints, Packers, Giants, Colts, Seahawks, Patriots, Broncos, Patriots, Eagles, Patriots, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Rams, Chiefs, Eagles. And so tonight will be Super 60, and we'll find out Patriots or Seahawks.
Well, that's interesting because as you were reading those off, Douglas, I was trying to imagine whether that be a country western song or rap, or maybe a folk song. So you'll have a lot of fun putting that together.
I was also thinking of opera,
Really?
Super 60.
All right.
Cowboys, Patriots. Giants.
Well, now that's a nice put on that. I didn't give that any thought. So, let's see what you come up with, Doug the neighbor. You're always full of surprises.
That's never, never boring. Now, we've talked about the rings. Tell us a little bit more of some information that you have.
Well, it's not a Super Bowl unless you got a party and you got some food going on.
Popcorn?
Well, we always have popcorn, but what the big draw is, now check this out, chicken wings. Gosh, a Super Bowl Sunday, they estimate 1.5 billion chicken wings will be consumed. So if that doesn't keep you going, you just got to think about adult beverages. The fact that when I say this, 325 million gallons of beer is consumed on Super Bowl Sunday, you go, oh, that's a lot. But let's put it in perspective. That fills up 200 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So if you want to go swimming in your beer, you just need to get an Olympic-sized swimming pool and maybe a million cans of beer to put in there. But that's the way it goes, man. We got food, we got beer, and you got your other snacks. And of course, at Camp Kennerk, we always have popcorn. But there's a whole litany of other favorites that people eat, dips and chips and guacamole and salsa. So whatever they're craving, it'll be available as long as you go to the right party.
Taking those numbers further, what was that number on the chicken wings?
1.5 billion.
That's 750 million chickens that are going to be flightless.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And chickens aren't really known for their flight skills, like compared to an eagle or something. So it would be interesting. It'd be a great way to figure out how they convince the chickens to give us their wings.
Well, think of $1 million idea for Camp Kennerk. We need to breed a chicken that has 8 wings.
Oh, yes. Yes, that could be it. That could be some. And you know what we do? How about this, Douglas? Why don't we buy a farm, buy a nuclear reactor?
Oh, I like your thinking.
Then that way, we don't have to worry about the genetics. The nuclear reactor will do that for us.
Okay, now going with the 8 wing theory, I think we need to breed on up to the 10 wing. So that's five aside, right?
It could be, but let's not get greedy. We still have to convince the bird to live there by the nuclear reactor.
They don't talk back, do they?
Well, Douglas, I'm not going there.
What if one of them goes rogue? You've heard about these hogs here in Texas that get to be god awful size, and they're called hogzillas.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, I can see it now. Documentary concerning Chickenzilla. Cartoons.
Oh yeah, yeah. And of course, we have to have our merch,
Oh, the
shirts,
merch. Oh yeah,
hats.
Chickenzillas.
Think of the hats with all the
Chickenzilla.
wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Chickenzilla. Like $1 million idea website is growing, growing, growing. Oh, and then we could have a story where one escaped, you know,
Yes. Oh my
and
gosh.
and goes pecking, pecking it. It picks up people. You ate my cousin. Now, Bill, that good laughs. Now we have something of interest. We admire people who are good at what they do. We,
Absolutely.
and in the sports world, There is one man right now, Bill Belichick, who has won 40 Super Bowls, participated in another 200. And this is Texas, everything's 200. And so and he was nominated. He was the coach of the New England Patriots, retired for a couple of years, but he's still a coach. He went to North Carolina to coach the Blue Devils down there. No, not the Blue Devils. What is it? The Tar Heels. I know nothing about the Southeast, the Tar Heels, and trying to get their college football program. And then Bill was eligible for the Hall of Fame. Now, you have to be retired for 5 years to go into the Hall of Fame. There are 50 people who are in media that vote, media and a couple others, but there are 50 people who vote. And then you need to get in, you need 40 votes. So Bill only got 39 votes. So that means 11 people voted against the greatest NFL football coach ever. And we're Dallas Cowboy fans, so even we show him props and his respect for being who he is, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I decided that I was going to chase down one of the voters and just ask him why. What were you thinking? What possibility? Why did you vote the way you want? And so I documented it so nobody's going to sue me. I'm just the average person. I'm not that kid in Minnesota who uncovered all that fraud up there. What was his name? Nick Sherry. Nick Sherry's 23-year-old TikToker. He uncovered billions of dollars of fraud.
Yeah.
You're admirable. Well, I'm not that guy. I'm just Doug the neighbor. I'm just Doug the neighbor. Sports guy, love sports, want to know who and why they voted against Bill Belichick. And I think we have a video. Hi, I'm Doug the neighbor with Kennerk podcast. 11 people voted against Bill Belichick entering the Football Hall of Fame. And I just got a lead to one of the voters. And I'm about ready to chase it on down because I want to ask him why. What was your reasoning for voting against Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches in football history, for not entering the Football Hall of Fame? There's 11 of them, and I've got the lead for one of them. Hang on, we're going to get him, and we're on the way. I finally made it to this 7-Eleven here in North Austin, trying to find one of the 11 people who voted against Bill Belichick's entrance into the Hall of Fame. I want to talk to that person and find out what his and why he did not do and what's his thinking. What is he thinking? And here I was told that one of the 8 people is a big Slurpee guy, and he has a Slurpee every day at 10:30 a.m. at this 7-Eleven. Now, my lead is solid because I was over at the Deep Eddy Cabaret chatting with Charlie Dumpster, not Charles Barbecue Pit. And we were having a cold Lone Star and discussing the merits of Johnny Rivers' Maybelline song, a great song. And Charlie Dumpster gave me this information. And here's the source. Charlie's uncle's brother's cousin aunt's nephew knows who it is, and that's my lead. So I'm sitting here outside of the 7-Eleven, there it is, waiting for someone to come on out with a Slurpee. There he is. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. You voted against Bill Belichick for the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. I want to talk to you. Wilbur McKenzie? Hey, it's okay. I just want to talk to you. What is your name? I work for the Daily Planet, sports department. Why did you vote against Bill Belichick, the greatest NFL coach in history? Even a Dallas Cowboy fan knows that. What is your reasoning? Wilbur, why? 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 Sorry, Bill. Next year.
Douglas, I tell you what, when you make a commitment to do something, you have done it. I tell you what, you need to send this to the Hall of Fame board so they can see what really is happening out there.
I think so too. And a little fact that I found out later is that this gentleman worked at the Daily Planet.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Now, to remind everybody, Lois Lane worked at the Daily Planet and sat next to Clark Kent for 10 years and never figured he was Superman.
Well, Lois was good at reporting, but she wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Neither was Wilbur McKenzie.
So that's the culprit, huh?
That's the culprit. He's one of the 11.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to talk to one. Okay. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. Now, you have a niece who does very serious work for our world, our society in America, and the world. And I believe you have some videos of her and her work at the Super Bowl.
Yes, it's Teresa Flores. She's one of our, did a Happy Camper interview some time ago, and she founded an organization called SOAP, SOAP, and their main objective is to stop teenage sex trafficking. And she was out at the Super Bowl last 2 weeks, getting everything together. She had a lot of volunteers putting together packets that they would go by the hotels and talk with the hotels and show them how to look out for signs of someone being trafficked. So the first is a picture of Teresa with her two brothers, David on the left and Patrick on the right. Now, we also have some videos of the volunteers, the people who have the feet on the street that are taking the mountain of Moses and getting rid of this terrible, terrible thing. So here is a couple spots from the volunteers.
Sophia, so why is it that you are here helping out with this outreach today?
I think it's very important to understand about what's going on in the world, to be educated and to be trained on it so that we can help other people and share the knowledge with other people, because we don't know ourselves, and it's important to give back in that way.
Thank you so much for your time. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey.
Steven here, first time volunteering at the Soap Project, just wanting to put in my time and effort in putting these stickers on wipes and bars of soap so that the message gets out that anybody who needs help, they know who to call and who to contact. So really happy to be here.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Good morning, Priscilla. So why is it that you decided to come out and volunteer for this outreach today?
I think Soap Up is very important because it makes awareness to the community and for the people that are in danger. So I think us volunteering helps support the community and keeping it safe.
Thank you so much for your time and your effort today.
Thank you.
Douglas, now is that a commitment for trying to get the things corrected in this world?
TK, that is a beautiful, beautiful effort for our community, our country, and our world. And props to her. I do remember our great Happy Camper interview with her and her commitment to her cause. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, very proud of her. She does, I mean, she does the Super Bowl, but she also goes to PGA golf tournaments, NASCAR races. She has a network of people all over the country that are doing the same thing that we just saw.
Oh, absolutely fantastic, TK. Absolutely fantastic. And there at the Super Bowl exposure, press, that sort of stuff. And she's been working at this for some time, she's told us, right?
Yeah, I would say probably I think 16. This is the 16th year of her um, efforts. She started here in Dallas. Her first one was here in Dallas when they had the Super Bowl here in Dallas. So
Okay.
that was the grassroots. That was her first one. And she's just made it a commitment to make sure this works. And she has huge following um, all over the world, actually. So, I mean, I think you remind you that she was a guest speaker at in Dubai of all the international police chiefs from all the countries from all over the world. So she has a lot of people's ear on getting this thing taken care of.
She is totally commitment and it's beautiful and very proud of her and having met her through the internet. Well, actually, I forgot that she came to Austin and we had lunch together here on Lake Travis. I forgot all about that. Yes.
Yes,
Good
that's
on you.
right. You met
Yeah.
some of her kids and some of my family. And maybe that's the reason why you act the way you do, Douglas, is once you get introduced to my family, people's personalities get a little warped. I have no idea. It
You're
happens.
taking the credit away from my family. That's okay. I've been an odd duck all my life. Beautiful, beautiful stuff by Teresa Flores. We did a happy camper interview with her, and just absolutely fantastic. Now, the game is tonight, Super Bowl 60. All right. Now you know that I like to do my numbers. Okay. Football is about moving the ball and scoring points. Okay, that's what it is. And I have done this sort of process, the DTN football numbers for college ball. And then each year, this is my third year, yeah. I do the Super Bowl using my theory. Now, what I do is I take the total average yards per game. It's over 17 games for the pros, plus the total average points scored. So moving the ball and scoring points gives me a number right here. All right. And then with the Seattle, the number came to 390 points. Okay. With the Patriots, 391 plus 28 equals 419. So the difference is the Patriots have 29 more points. All right. Now, I use a theory of if you have more than 60 points, you will win by 2 touchdowns. If you have my more than 50 points, you will win by 1 touchdown. And by 40 points, you'll win by a field goal. Okay. So the difference is 29 points. So what the numbers state to the advantage of Patriots is that they will win by a field goal, less than a field goal. Well, you can't be less than a field
Sure you
goal.
can. You can have a
Yeah, sure.
safety.
That's right. Yeah. So by a field goal. So by the numbers, low scoring game. Okay. Now, I decided to do a couple more interesting facts to determine this. I took because the argument always is, well, if it's moving the ball plus points, that's what football is. If you score more points than the other team, that means your defense works. So people say, well, why don't you consider defense? Well, if you score more points, the defense is doing its job. That's all. More points than the other one. So this year, I included sacks plus interceptions. Now, a sack stops momentum. An interception stops momentum. And with a sack, or excuse me, an interception, you have a high situation of a pick six. So the sacks and interceptions for Seattle is 65, which is kind of interesting. And the sacks plus interceptions for the Patriots is 45. So a difference of 20 points right there. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. Now, going back to penalties. Now, penalties kill a game, kill a team's momentum, the whole show. Seattle averaged 44.6 yards per game, and Patriots average 29.3 yards per game in penalties. Okay. Now, penalties represent coaching and how well the team coordinates to move the ball. Now, that sort of stuff. How you play the game, the fairness. Nobody likes to see a bad block or a crazy hit or so holding. That's just not fair. Okay. So the Seattle Seahawks have more penalties average per game. All right. So by these points, I'm going to have to take the Patriots, okay, to win the game. Now, I'm saying the game by the numbers, it's going to be less than 3 points, very close game. And I'm going to go with the Patriots because even though the sacks interception is huge, with Seattle getting the nod, I'm going to go with the Patriots and least amount of penalties. In other words, they play the game well. More better, as we say here at Camp Kennerk. More better.
More better is right. And I think you've done a more better job this year in picking out your teams with your analytical analysis.
I'm at
And
75%. I'm at 75% in college. In the college, I'm
yeah,
75% in
yeah.
college.
Well, methodology is methodology. I think you're right on that. I think you've picked the winner right there.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Who are you gonna take?
I'll take the Patriots as well. And I'm going to say it's probably going to be like the last play of the game that's going to decide the winner.
Well, that's interesting you say that because with these guys who can kick 60-yard field goals regularly, you know, there's the game.
Yep.
There's the game. Yeah, yeah,
So,
and it could possibly go into overtime because it's going to be so close.
yeah, and that means more than the 325 million gallons of beer will be drank. That means we may go up to another 500,000 gallons just because of the over.
And two billion chickens.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those chickens are getting nervous. I guarantee you that.
Okay, all right, TK. Jojo Bear, we have been together for all 60 of the Super Bowls, and we are ready. And the Jojo Bear was there with me when the Dallas Cowboys lost and when no one else was, So we're bound together, and I got my football. I'm ready. Go Cowboys!
Aaron, go brawl.